Beyonce won a country music best album. And then I believe she also won best album of the year. She has something like 34 Grammys. Adam, you can do a fact check on that. And if you would, put that in context with other historic performers and how many they have. I think Beyonce got 11 nominations is what I saw. I may have flagged this on my phone and screenshotted it. I believe Beyonce got more nominations for her country music album than Michael Jackson did for Thriller. Let me repeat that. Thriller, one of the greatest, most iconic albums of all time. I believe that Beyonce, for her country music album, got more nominations for it than Michael Jackson did for Thriller, which is unbelievable. And so as I break all of this down, this is, and I hate to say it because I feel bad, I'm not a country music savant. I am tone deaf. I have told this story before. I sang chorus in high school. My chorus professor, teacher at Martin Luther King Magnet High School, James Scandrick, looked like a black boss hog, bald guy, dead ringer for Boss Hog from, felt like to me, from Dukes of Hazzard, except the black version of him. Also drove around in a Cadillac, to my recollection. He paused in front of me. I was in the bass section. I've got a booming voice, thankfully. And he told me, no, you mouth the words from now on. He said, you have a great voice. You can walk up and you can announce the songs that we will sing, and then you just go right back into the bass chorus. Your voice is so out of tune, it's not going to work for you. I can't sing, okay? I'm tone deaf. Many of you know that I am the greatest flautist, greatest flute player of all time, according to AI on the internet. But some of you say, okay, why do you care? It's an award show. Well, I care because the idea is to reward the best. And for many musicians out there, winning a Grammy Award is a sign that your work has been appreciated at the highest levels and that you matter in the musical pantheon because your work of art that you have theoretically poured your heart and soul in is the best that anyone has done in that particular year. That wasn't true for Beyonce. That wasn't true for her in country music or in the larger nation. And if you're a Lainey Wilson out there and you have done as many things as possible in the world of music, rewarding someone for work that isn't supremely talented or the best is like saying Will Levis is your NFL MVP this year. Well, you could give Will Levis the award, but he was an awful quarterback compared to most of the other people doing his job at a high level. We can argue about Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen, but Beyonce getting the country music album of the year and then the album of the year at the Grammys was like, to me, if the NFL suddenly gave Will Levis the NFL MVP. It just makes a mockery of the existence of the reward and of the achievement. Beyonce now 35 nominations. 35 Grammy nominations. How many does Taylor Swift have? And confirm for me that I'm correct that this crazy Cowboy Carter, I'm going to Google this myself, that it actually had more nominations than Thriller. I mean, come on. Thriller, one of the most iconic albums of all time. Yeah, sorry. Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tied Michael Jackson's Thriller for most artist Grammy nominations from one album. Let me pause here for a minute. Thriller and Cowboy Carter are the two greatest albums in the history of the Grammys. This is evidence of how, I hate to say it, but how DEI works. They go and do something radical that is unsupported by the underlying talent. Give Beyonce Country Music Album of the Year. When someone like me comes out and criticizes it, they say, oh, this is an example of racism and sexism. And then a lot of times they try and cancel somebody like me for questioning their woke cultural choices. It doesn't work on me to cancel me. If anything, it just makes me stronger. I've come through the fires of cancellation, come out on the other side. They can't get to me. You guys have my back. Audience will follow me anywhere I go. That's what working hard for 20 years does to you. It makes you hard to define by any one opinion. You don't have to be a musical genius to say Thriller and Cowboy Carter are nothing at all remotely similar. Thriller is truly one of the greatest albums that has ever been created in American musical history. I don't care whether you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic. Go listen to Thriller. People will be listening to Thriller 100 years from now. They will still be playing some of those songs, I would wager. There's nothing on Cowboy Carter that's going to be played 5 years from now. There's nothing on that album being played now. It is a DEI-focused award. And here's the problem. Beyonce hasn't been discriminated against. She's actually been rewarded more than any artist ever for being a black woman. Taylor Swift, look, I've ripped Taylor Swift a lot. Taylor Swift is way more talented than Beyonce. She sold, I'm pretty sure, way more albums. She sold out way more stadiums. Taylor Swift has only had 14 Grammy nominations, according to Adam. Adam, don't lead me astray here because I got no idea. Taylor Swift is 5 to 10 times the talented artist that Beyonce is. And she's got 1/3 of the nominations of Beyonce in the Grammys. Michael Jackson only had 13 Grammy nominations. I'm sorry. I get Beyonce has been around for a while. Michael Jackson kind of had a long career too, from the Jackson 5 all the way up through his career. He only had 13 Grammy nominations. Beyonce's had 35. You can't tell me that's not diversity DEI. It's like Kamala being the presidential nominee. Wins. Now, Adam's getting me all screwed up here. This is not complicated. Adam is panicking. Nominations and wins. I just need a basic text giving me the data. The idea that Beyonce is in some way justified in winning Cowboy Carter, she didn't get nominated for the CMAs. I'm telling you, there's going to be stories. They may cite me. Oh, Clay Travis is racist and sexist for calling into question. No, I just think excellence should be rewarded no matter what your race is, and that should be the aspiration of excellence. And I get it that it is arbitrary in some way to measure art, right? That is a arbitrary measurement in some form. It's not like a basketball game or a football game where you're like, this team was better than the other. We can objectively have them compete. There's just no way to actually break this down and say anything other than this is the Kamala Harris of everything. All right, Adam now is giving me the totals. So overall, oh, good Lord. Beyonce has 35 wins, 99 nominations. No one has ever been nominated for more Grammys than Beyonce. Stevie Wonder, 25 wins. Jay-Z, 88 nominations. I mean, who hates Taylor Swift here? I don't even see her on the list for nominees. Like, why does Taylor Swift not have, anyway, This is, to me, maybe I need to do a longer form dial in on this, but this is like Kamala being the nominee. At some point, the desperation to bend the knee and praise Beyonce has far exceeded any remote possible defense of her overall talent. All right, so Michael Jackson, 13 wins. Taylor Swift, 14. Beyonce, 35. So Beyonce has won more Grammys than Michael Jackson and Taylor Swift combined by a substantial amount. Whatever your musical background is, how can that be remotely the case in a reasonable, fair, legitimate musical arena analysis? It's crazy.